Salutations, one and all. Welcome to another fantastic week of Fractured Orders. I apologize. I just scarfed down some food. It's all kind of stuck in my mouth still, but that's okay. We're gonna push on through that. Some exciting news today. All of the players are here. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that grand? Isn't that amazing? But even more exciting news is to see the final conclusion of this this task that has taken the party quite some time to do. So, first of all, and most importantly, let's find out how our players are doing. Let me turn on Discord and see exactly that.
It's basically going to be how this movie goes.
I thought that all happened over the span of like years.
Well, yeah, but it's probably going to be like well, since there is no canon now, it's entirely possible that this happened in a very short period of time, just for the ease of writing.
Sure, but kind of frustrates me because I think either of the earlier directors would have been better
Yes, I agree.
to complete it, you know, with
Yep.
their brand of humor and yeah.
Yeah. Well, and they get it.
Yeah. So we'll see, but I don't have high hopes.
Yeah. I just hope that it does poorly. Like, if it's not good, I hope it does poorly, which it won't.
What are you talking about?
The Han Solo movie.
You mean
to
Solo?
make Disney kind of rethink the strategy of just doing a bunch of solo movies for like individual characters and just do what Marvel has done and have different types of movies with different types of characters doing interesting things rather than, all right, we're going to do a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. We're going to do a Jabba the Hutt movie.
Marvel hasn't really done that successfully, though.
Yeah, it
Like-
has.
No, like all Marvel films now kind of are just Avenger films.
To be fair,
Well-
you guys know that Marvel is Disney as well now.
Right, but Marvel isn't. Marvel is allowed to do their own thing. Disney is being micromanaged, or Star Wars is being micromanaged.
Because there's
Whereas Marvel is like, there's a director of Marvel who is basically having free reign for the movies, and with Star Wars, they're like, nope, we're not going to do this. We're gonna carefully craft everything to make us the most money.
Hello everyone. Z, are you using a different microphone?
No, is something different?
You are like,
Yeah, you're much louder.
you're peaking the shit out of your microphone.
Oh, that's
Like,
weird. Let me.
It's really like scratchy.
Huh. Okay.
It sounds fine when you're talking like in that tone of voice, but like when you're talking regularly, it's very scratchy. Just FYI.
sounds
Okay.
like you have boost or something on.
Just don't yell, I guess, would be the suggestion that I have for you.
Yeah, I don't plan on yelling.
Yeah, for some reason it just sounds like you were way louder than you usually are.
Oh.
But most importantly, hello everyone. Glad you all could be here.
Oh,
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. Glad everyone is here. Posty, are we feeling better?
More or less.
Okay, good. I like more or less means at least not you're dying. So that's good.
I wasn't actively dying, but I was dying
Fantastic.
last week.
We're glad you're back. One thing I think I forgot to give you experience. Go ahead and give yourself 15 experience. FYI.
I haven't spent experience.
A long time. Probably have a lot of experience. But first, let's find out how everybody's been doing. We'll start at the top. Endless hello. How have you been? What's been going on in your life? How's university?
Nothing eventful that much. University is okay. Going into the fourth week, but yesterday something very crazy happened.
Yeah, we're all glad you're here.
Yeah, but I kind of I don't want to like drag out the story, but I at least want to give the short version of what happened because you wouldn't really expect something like this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that my accommodation, there is a coffee shop that's right next to the accommodation, and I happen to be conveniently right under the shop because it's on the ground level. I'm on the first level. And yesterday evening, three individuals decided to rob the place. And the thing is, and yeah, and I didn't even realize until I actually felt the chaos under my legs because they started trashing the place. And when I finally, I was looking on, and of course I couldn't really see much other than the reflection of the shop in the opposite building, just seeing three people just causing havoc. And after a minute, the three individuals fled from the scene, and of course they were covered up. The only thing I could see was a person that looked back, had a black balaclava, baseball bat. Heard that there was only store employees in there. One of them got stabbed. Police came, a crowd came up. It was crazy.
And here you were, living in above it on your computer,
Yeah,
probably with your headphones on.
Yeah, it's like and when I heard the noise, it's like I couldn't ignore it, so I managed to catch a glimpse of the three people that fled the scene. So, I mean, I called the police because they said anyone with information or at least an eyewitness should call. And it's like, well, I had a very high ground view, so I could say that at least how many people there were. I can't really see what the other two looked like because they had snow jackets and were had their backs facing me, and the only guy with the balaclava turned, and that's how I noticed. So yeah, that was too close. I swear.
Are you okay, Zinch?
Yeah, sorry. I was
Oh,
I used some canned air on my cat, and it was hilarious.
Your microphone's still doing that.
God damn.
Just like, if you move it away from your face like a little bit, it'll probably be okay.
Is this better?
A little bit, yeah.
Uh,
Just feels like your levels are like way off for some reason. It's one of those computer things that like you don't change anything about it and it just magically is different. But anyway, Kai, hello. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Are you back from Cabin Land?
Yes, we are. We were back on Saturday.
Good, fantastic.
Yeah.
Kids are all off back to school and you have some time to
Yes,
yourself
And
again?
we're going back up tomorrow.
Okay.
We figured out a way to get the kids to go hiking to a place where we have a cabin. It's like surrounded by mountain tops, and it's not really a long walk to the tops. But since our smallest one is 2 years old, so she has problems with vertical climbing.
Doing anything ever? Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah, no, she's pretty good, but she's she's 2, so it's kind of.
Yeah.
We figure out in Norway we have like legends of trolls, and so we said that the chocolate trolls go to the cabins and steal chocolate, and they live on the top of the mountains. So if we go to all the tops, we might find chocolate because they hide their stash there. So now they really want to go to all the tops of the mountains around the cabin. So that's probably what we will be doing this weekend, and what we spent last weekend doing. Oh, it's actually really great.
The lies we tell our children to get them to do things.
Yeah, and our eldest one, I know there's no such thing as a chocolate troll. Oh, but the ones who don't believe don't find chocolate, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yay, chocolate troll, give me my candy bar now.
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So
amazing,
it's
yeah.
fun.
Oh, fantastic. Glad you're back and happy that you're going again, I guess. Congratulations on being able to do that so often.
That's fun. It's getting more fun now. They're getting older. We can go slaloming, and yeah.
Yeah, you can actually do things, sure.
Yeah.
Mulan, hello.
Hello.
How are you? What's been going on in your life?
Okay, I've had 2 clients this week that have been difficult, and property stuff, which is difficult. So it's been a bit of a long week, but it's all getting sorted slowly but surely. So we'll not too bad, I guess.
Good. It's good. Are there still boxes in your house?
Oh yeah, so many boxes.
So many boxes.
Yeah, no. In fact, one of the boxes that I managed to get out of the house, someone's trying to deliver. Someone's trying to return. Um, one of the issues is I don't really carry stock, especially not of massive TVs, which is what he
Right.
wants to return. So trying to figure out if my supplier will take it back, and yeah, it's been a fun experience.
Welcome to the life of business, I guess.
Exactly. I hate it.
Fantastic. Toasty, hello.
Hi.
Tell us all about how your week's going.
Hmm.
There's still fires over there, from what I hear.
It's cleared up quite a bit, but yeah, I mean the fires are kinda dying down, I guess. As much as fires die down in California.
It's just constantly on fire, to be fair.
There's an old saying that California has 4 seasons, and those seasons are mudslides, or rain, mudslides, fire, and like I forgot what the fourth one is, but
Earthquake,
essentially
probably.
earthquakes. Yeah. Um, but yeah, essentially, I don't know. It has destroyed quite a bit. I saw a picture of Santa Rosa recently, and it was like, or I saw like a before and after, and it was just devastating to look at. So yeah,
Crazy.
it's it's definitely gonna cause some issues around the North Bay. But yeah, as far as I go, my week's been pretty fine. I've been going back to going back and forth to San Francisco for the past 2 weeks, so just working on a project.
Cool. Fantastic. Or maybe not having to deal with traffic. That's, I guess, up to a matter of opinion.
I just get on the train.
Oh, well, yeah, public transit. There you go. It's perfect. Don't even have to worry about driving or anything like that.
Oh,
See,
just
living in Florida, everybody has to own a car and you have to know how to drive. Like,
oh
just
yeah.
doesn't matter where you live. Even if you live in a place with public transit, because public transit is just like is almost non-existent in all cities in Florida ever.
I learned to drive in Idaho, where you absolutely had to have a car.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah. Um no, I grew up here in California, so I know like both sides of the coin as far as like, hey, public transit or have a car.
I'm excited because from what I hear, Denver has a pretty good public transit system. I'm excited to maybe not have to drive my car everywhere. So
I've been there, so I don't know.
I'm excited to check it out.
A lot of the places in like the Pacific Northwest do have pretty good public transportation though.
Not Seattle.
Well, it has a semblance of public transportation.
It has something that has probably a set of letters spelling something random in acronym format that serves as public transportation.
But yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. I am tired.
All right. Z, hello.
Hey.
Speaking of, what's your public transit situation like?
Back in the 70s, our politicians realized that shit was gonna go down if we didn't have proper public transit or a proper transit corridor, because I-5 corridor in Washington State is like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And then they added like 1 million more people to the state since then. So they voted down an initiative where the federal government would have paid for like 50% to get us a proper either linked light rail or subway or something. So that was in the 70s. And then just recently, they're finally like, look, we got to do this. We're going to have to put the whole bill ourselves. So over like 15, 20 years, they're putting in a light rail between my city, Seattle, Bellevue, and a few of the outlying. But it's going to take about another 8 years for my city to get connected.
So Probably by the time it doesn't matter even a whole lot anymore.
Yeah, especially since I'm probably not going to be in the state in 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
glad that you don't have what we're going through, where they're trying to connect the train to San Jose, but it has to go through like Blackhawk or something, and all the citizens there are rich old
Yeah.
people, and they don't want the train to go through
Of
there.
course not.
The rich people live in Bellevue, so they've been actively preventing that. Whereas Seattle is wealthy, but it's not as wealthy as Bellevue. It's so much larger, and it's made up of a lot of different classes.
Yeah.
So, and Seattle is much worse because Bellevue has only kind of Bellevue's like where Steam Valve is located, and like a bunch of Microsoft stuff. And
Yeah, Bellevue has isn't Wizards of the Coast is close by there as well, or it's
yeah,
actually
I think they're in Redmond.
Redmond.
I don't know.
Yeah, Redmond, correct.
Nintendo's in Redmond. Microsoft's in Redmond.
Yeah,
But that's really close to Bellevue. So like all of those people, so that was built up in like not late 80s to 90s. So it didn't have the explosive population growth that Seattle itself had.
right.
And so it was able to build up at a better level than Seattle. Because Seattle, in case you weren't aware, Seattle was burnt to the ground at one point and was rebuilt on top of the existing city because Seattle was originally built on mudflats.
Sounds like all of Florida.
Yeah, if you ever come out to Seattle, go on the underground tour. It's hilarious and just really informative.
I actually have looked into housing and stuff in Seattle a lot because one of my girlfriend's prospective job opportunities was Wizards of the Coast.
Really?
Because she's in the toy industry.
Okay.
So one of the respective locations was Wizards of the Coast. So we've done some research in Seattle. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, how's it? It's the fastest growing real estate market in the country. Bad out here.
For me, my week has been tumultuous is the word I will use. There was a lot of ups and downs. Work kicked my ass this week. I ended up doing filling in for like the supervisor role all week, which is a whole nother basket of craziness that I don't even normally deal with. So that was one thing. Fortunately, though, I have yet to receive pictures, but I do have a place to live in Denver now, so that's good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's
it's got a
arguably
little...
the most important part.
Yeah, no, seriously, it really is. Okay, roll 20. That's fine. You can take your time today. I assume everybody else just got that roll 20 notification.
Did I?
I didn't get anything.
Oh well, okay.
I didn't get any.
Maybe I'm all fucked. We'll find out in a few moments.
Seems like you're kind of fucky.
But yeah, no. So the apartment's all squared up, and the fiber internet's getting installed today, which I'm super excited about. Even though I'm not even going to get to use it for another month or two, or another month basically. But regardless of that, I am excited to at least be moving to an area that seems to be, honestly, having done some research, I think Denver's the next Seattle, right? Like I really think it is like the next big thing, because it's already pretty big with like government contracts, and because they have
there's a big
the
tech
Air Force
scene there
base,
as well.
yeah, and there's a big tech scene, and everybody's developing and expanding. So I'm pretty excited to get in when it's not crazy yet. Because price-wise, it's actually about around the same as where in Orlando, where I'm living now. So pretty excited that it's not like super expensive, unlike Virginia, where the first prospective move was going to, right outside DC, which was fucking so expensive.
DC's bad.
So bad. So horrendous. So I'm pretty happy. Also, I have family like just across the mountains, so long weekend trips are a possibility to see family, stuff like that. So that's good. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Today somebody hit my car, which actually is kind of a blessing. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it's kind of a blessing in the fact that I had already had damage to the rear end of my vehicle from another person that hit me, and I had gone through insurance claim and done all that nonsense, but I just never got it fixed just because I wanted the money for myself, and it wasn't really that bad, and I can live with it because I don't care. But somebody hit me again, and now the damage is, like, it's different enough that it won't look like the same damage, and I'll just be able to claim it again, and it'll be fantastic. So
I did a similar thing when I popped the curb that one day.
Yeah.
My power steering was acting up, so I claimed that the curb fucked up my power steering.
Oh,
so
there you go.
That along with the alignment issue.
Well, yeah, so one of the things, I have backup sensors, right? And even though they're not damaged, I can claim that they're damaged, and then they replace the whole thing, and it's, like, so much more money. I don't really, like, the girl, she was maybe following too close. It was just a situation where it was, like, you know, I had to stop short because the two cars in front of me stopped short, and she just didn't stop in time. She was young, man. It happens. She was crying, and I was like, don't worry, but, like, it's really not that big a deal.
I would be crying too.
It's the first time I ever got in an accident. No, it's fine, really. It's not a huge deal. Don't worry about it. So that's great. So paycheck soon, because I can fucking put on a bumper on a car myself. So I'm not that worried about it. It's literally one of the surprisingly easiest things to do to a vehicle. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
And that's basically my week. And I'm super excited about this particular session because I have some really cool things planned.
Yay.
So the first thing we should talk about, perhaps, is experience. I know some of you have been saving up, so we'll go down the list really briefly again and see if anybody got anything. So we'll start with you, Endless. Did Dash spend any experience?
Yeah, I got a strain threshold upgrade.
I'm sorry, you got a what?
Strain threshold.
Oh, strain threshold. Okay.
Strain reduction, I think it was.
Oh, okay. So is that within your talent tree?
Yes,
cool.
It is.
Nice. Extra strain is always nice. Fantastic. Kai, anything for Kin?
No, he's saving up.
Saving up those points. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be tough for the next session.
Mulan.
Yes.
Did Jax get anything?
Jax got another rank of rapid reaction. So again, along the same theme of the shoot hard and shoot first type thing. So now he can increase his initiative score by 2 successes for 2 strain.
That seems really good. 2 successes is a lot when we're talking about initiative, for sure.
Yeah, especially as my cool isn't that great.
Yeah.
Or my vigilance, so it helps.
Yeah, it almost negates the fact to even have those, really, as long as you have the strain to spare.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I roll enough advantages as well that I can recover some of that strain, so we'll see.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. And next but certainly not least, Tosi, you said you hadn't spent any and you got that extra 15, so you may not be.
Yeah, I'm like sitting at 50 experience right now, so.
Well, now we all know what you.
Triumphs that every roll, so
the thing is, my character relies on creativity over like raw skill base.
Sure.
So I can afford not to spend skill points as long as I can continue to think of situations in a non-lateral way.
Well, at least at the very minimum, we'll extend this to you. If there's something you feel like you want to get, like throughout, like, you know, when you're just, you know, waiting for your turn, or, you know, you're not in the scene or whatever, and you're looking through and you find something that you want, just let me know, and you can totally just do that within the game, because I don't want you to be, I don't want you to feel locked in that you can't do anything this session because you can't get those skill points. I'll let you just apply them at some point throughout them.
To be fair, I've missed a couple of games, and I haven't really come across a situation where I feel like my character's like grown any.
True.
So
I've been doing the best I can with what I've been
No,
given.
it's not your fault. It's just it's just the way things go, I guess.
Yeah. Z, has ZN any of that experience points you've been saving up?
Yes. Is my mic better? I messed.
It is a
Yeah,
little
seems
bit better now.
better to
Yeah,
me.
it's it sounds better now for sure.
I got another strain threshold, and at the end of this session, I'll be able to get a force point, and that's the entire thing I've been saving up for the entire game so far.
Yeah, you've just been like like beelining it for that force rating, right? Force rating 2 is what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, because it's like it improves your chances by like ridiculous amount.
Right,
so.
it does amazing things for force powers and definitely negates some of the like negative stuff that can happen. So
yeah,
that's fantastic. But again, another strain. There you go. The next thing we should talk about is unfortunately, obligation has been triggered for this session. You guys still have pretty high obligations, mostly because we've been kind of stuck in trying to solve this one in particular, which will help tremendously. But with this one, I'm not actually going to reveal whose it is, because it's going to come up in the game, and I think it'll become apparent as we begin playing whose obligation is triggered. That person already knows, so that person will take an additional strain threshold away.
Okay.
But everybody reduce it by 1.
Yeah.
So fantastic. And then, last but certainly not least, we need to roll some destiny. So let me clear the pool real quick. Dice pool.
19, 20.
Clear the pool. Go. Awesome. So, if everybody would like to begin rolling some destiny, we will see how strong the influence of the light and dark side are today.
I'm feeling moody today.
Oh,
Hey, look, I didn't roll dark side for the first time.
So, is that everybody? I think.
Yeah, and I'm still above 70, so we get a light side.
Yeah,
so
you
we're
get a
even.
free light side.
Dead even.
So what's that? 4 and 4? Is that
Yeah.
going on here? Yeah. Okay. Cool. And let me make sure to add this one here. Player update. Fantastic. So we're starting completely neutral, which is very appropriate, I think, for what's going to happen in this session. Beginning at a purely neutral standpoint, due to the simple fact that we're trying to keep everything like the whole mission, as far as it's gone, is to mediate between what could be perceived as the light and the dark side, right? Like that's been the whole goal. So we're finding the common middle ground for everybody. And we'll see how well that works out for the rest of you up and coming. So finally, before we jump right into it, we need to talk about what happened last session. And this will be useful for you, Toasty, perhaps to get a good semblance of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Last session was essentially spent preparing everybody for the meetup, right? The sitting down at the table, signing of paperwork, exchanging of prisoner, etc., etc. So, with that being said, there was some negotiations being had between Zian and the other two parties to get everybody to an kind of amicable agreement, right? And there were a lot of rolls made to find proper areas, and what we've kind of settled on, and I'll bring everybody back to this real quick. What we kind of settled on is we found this warehouse that is located kind of at the edge of an industrial district on Corellia, still technically within Coronet. And this warehouse, the best meeting place per Jax is going to be up on the roof. and the roll was pretty good on it, and so you got a pretty decent spot to kind of keep an eye on what's going on around you, right? Be able to monitor any approach from anybody, be able to be somewhat protected from perhaps like snipers and stuff like that. Obviously anything is possible in Star Wars, but you have a pretty defensible spot. And now let me then describe for you this warehouse roof, because I didn't really go into great detail at first. So there's a small landing pad, presumably for like small craft or speeders, that's barren, right? It's empty. There's nobody that's there anymore. It's surrounded by this kind of like protective barrier so that all like the dust and stuff that flies up when these ships take off doesn't blow out onto the rest of the roof. There's a large dish, like a large satellite dish up on top that it uses like to communicate with the communication systems throughout the planetary, or throughout the planet. I shouldn't say planetary. There's also like a stairwell and an elevator that are kind of centrally located, that go down into the warehouse itself. There also, as far as some like interesting points on it, there's also like a fuel depot that's kind of barren and empty at this point. It's all been kind of picked over. There's a power station that's inactive that powers the uplink satellite. And then there's just kind of various cargo and canisters and crates that are, some are probably broken or smashed, and the rest are probably empty, that are just kind of sitting up here, being left by whoever used to own this place. Mm-hmm. So overall, there's some defensible areas throughout the rooftop itself. The walls are fairly high, so that you're kind of protected from the ground, unless you're like leaning over the railing, right, and like looking down. And the plan, as it was that Jax and Zian and Kin were going to be in attendance at this meeting, and Henkar and Janice both had to be in attendance to get both like big players at the table, and they could bring like 2 other people with them. No more, nothing like that. There was also the restriction of no like heavy weaponry. Okay. So nobody was bringing like blaster rifles or anything like that. Just to kind of sidearms. Obviously, if you want to carry a sidearm, that's on you, and it's reasonable to understand that you want to carry one with you. So those were cleared, but nothing, no heavy weapons or anything like that. Obviously that favors the 3 of you that are in attendance as well, because Kin doesn't need weapons. Jax only carries a blaster pistol anyway, and Zian just moves stuff with his mind. It doesn't really require any additional weaponry when it comes to that sort of thing. So that was kind of the deal in which was made. Leading up to getting everybody to the same place, there was a plan that Kin was going to go meet with Janice's entourage and drive their speeder to the location, and Jax was going to go
fancy speeder.
Yeah, you're going to go drive the speeder limo, right, that we saw Janice in the first place. Was going to drive the speeder limo to the location, and Jax was going to go drive the Henkar and her associates to the meetup. So with that being said, that was in order so that nobody was and they might switch out speeders too. I think there was some talk of like maybe switching out speeders at some point, just to prevent any foul play. But that's the whole goal. The goal was to prevent foul play from either side in reference to this, because you're meeting with your enemies. Now, once the debate was complete and once the paperwork was signed and everybody was in agreement, Dash and Mouse, you all will be, or the both of you, along with RK, will be on the ship at the spaceport with with your captive, and I don't think you were here when I revealed the name of said captive, but his name is Romano.
Yeah, we weren't there.
We call him Ray.
Yeah, exactly. He's an attractive human male. He was treated well by the Zultan Alliance. The primary interesting thing that happened here, though, was he seemed to be suffering from some sort of amnesia or some sort of like alteration to his memories, perhaps, in which things were a little bit fuzzy for him prior to his kidnapping. And so there was a lot of like kind of weird maybe voodoo juju going on there, and it was determined that it was important for proof of life, right? Because that was one of the other things that we had to settle for proof of life, that Janice be able to speak via like a hollow screen to Romano, and there were some oddities that occurred there in which the demeanor of both individuals, both Lucia Janice and Romano, changed dramatically when they were speaking to each other. I think a lot of people chalked it up to simply just being, it's obvious that like it's triggered memories that exist there, etc., etc. But Jax, I believe, was the one who I think you rolled a triumph on that.
Yeah, I did.
And we're able to determine that it honestly seemed as if there was a different person, in particular from Lucia Janice, than the one you guys had originally met. It almost appeared as if whatever was Lucia Janice prior, as soon as she began talking with Romano, she became a completely different person, and more so than just seeing someone that you're in love with again, right? So there was some weird suspicion there about what might actually be going on between these two. But it did settle for Romano that he did indeed want to go back to Lucia. That's definitely something that he thought that, there was some on the fence about, like, I'm not sure because I don't remember a whole lot, but after the conversation, he was very much set on, that's the place I'm supposed to be. So yes, let's, I'll be cooperative. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Let's get this done. And that kind of set into motion the events that are now kind of coming to fruition. Did I miss anything? Anybody think of anything important that I missed there?
Not that I can think of.
Nope. I think we covered most of the things.
Fantastic. So, I guess the real question is, we should probably start kind of en route to our meetup here, because there wasn't a whole lot that you had to do. But I will ask one final time, for just to get the checks in, because I want to make sure you guys have the freedom to do it if you want to. Is there anything between settling on this is our plan to actually executing the plan that anybody wants to do or say or contribute towards, etc.?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So, as the group of you go off in your separate ways, we see Mouse and RK and Dash at the spaceport, kind of remaining at the ship, kind of with the engines primed, because the plan is you're going to go meet with Lucia Janice, like, at some other undisclosed location when the time is right. And so you guys are there to kind of provide support in this role. But I will ask Mouse, because this is an interesting scenario you find yourself in. on the ship with these three other individuals, right? Romano, NRK, and Dash. And Kin is not around anymore.
Yeah.
So I want to ask how dependent Mouse is on that to be like social, or how dependent Mouse is on that to, operate at a fully functioning capability.
I think Mouse is pretty stressed out by the fact that Ken's not around. So she's probably like down in like the engineering area, like mostly just being antisocial.
Yeah, kind of being a recluse a little bit.
Yeah. And like really frustrated. Like you kind of see like she's trying to like work on like Ken's robot friend,
Sure.
Ken's droid friend. I forgot his name because I'm not looking at my sheet right now.
I don't think we've named it yet.
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
Oh, did we?
C120.
C120, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
C120.
Cedo. Anyway, trying to work on him, but like she's fumbling and like just getting really frustrated with it. It's very frenetic. Like her hair is all like mussed up. Like she's like running her hands through her hair every like couple of seconds. Her face is all mussed up with like oil and stuff.
Yeah, right. Your hands are like
She's
covered
like-
in droid grease, right? From working.
She's got
on the-
like tools scattered everywhere, but more than usual. It's not like usually when she has stuff scattered everywhere, there's kind of like a pattern to it. It seems chaotic if you just kind of look at it, but this time it's just like stuff is just like thrown about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
looking a little distraught. Mouse is.
Yeah, everything is distraught, and whenever Mouse is distraught, her environment gets distraught as well.
I think that's super appropriate for the setting you find yourself in, certainly.
Yeah.
Cool. So then I move over to Dash being kind of the de facto, I would say, like leadership role on the ship now. With all of the other three individuals gone. Obviously Zian going to the meeting point, and then the other two going to, provide escort for their respective parties to the meeting point. Where do we find Dash? Do we find Dash just like hanging out in the cockpit waiting for a word? Do we find him outside, like running last minute checks?
Well, he does that, but he actually happens to go to the reactor room just to check it for one last time.
Yeah, so
And,
you like come down the ladder right into the engineering area, and you see the scene that Mouse set before you.
So the thing is, Dash isn't really that like intuitive. He's not like people would assume Zion, who basically could tell in some way that you're like distraught. But I mean the thing is, like, should I in some way just like maybe try and roleplay it out or something? Because
Yeah.
I don't know if I should like maybe roll a like nose check and for
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say that the difference is the place looks turned over when you get there, right? Like it almost looks like
Oh.
somebody's been like digging and searching for something in here. I would say that it's a distinct enough change that you probably notice there's a change, but you may not know why. So that would be the thing that you may have to ask Mouse as you see her probably scurrying from one place to another, trying to put things together.
Well, he will nonchalantly just walk over to one of the walls and basically lean back to it, just looking at her as he's basically trying to at least maybe get a feel of what's going on, how is she feeling, why is she running around, and then as maybe she maybe is about to pass him, he kind of like in a way tries to not scare Mouse by saying hey Mouse, but unfortunately doesn't manage because maybe she didn't notice him or something. So
Yeah.
he involuntarily scares her by accident.
Yeah, Mouse is off in her own little world. He's like, "Hey, Mouse," and she's like, "Ah! Oh my God, where'd you get here?"
The latter. He says jokingly to try and lighten the mood.
What? I mean, we got like people on board that could kill us. Aren't you supposed to be watching that? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to do something here, and you're not helping with that. So I think that you should be watching those people.
Mouse, calm down. It's fine.
No. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm calm. I'm calm. Please. So I'm just doing robot stuff, droid stuff. You know, droid stuff.
And why is the reactor upside down?
Well, I don't know, but that doesn't matter. What really matters is that this thing goes here, right? And then we're fine. I'm fine. We just need to watch those people so that they don't kill us and they don't try to stab us in the back, because I don't like that.
I mean, I would say a perception check, and I guess Toasty could set the like rating, because I mean it's not really something you can't really just say like, oh, you're into it enough. I guess there's a a chance of randomness.
Well,
It's your call. I'm just saying something.
How intuitive do you suspect your character is naturally?
Well, naturally, by referring to my character sheet, because that's the best reference I can go by. I mean, he's not like he doesn't like have some kind of like he doesn't have the feeling of the force or something like that, but he can just maybe spot what's going on.
He's slightly above average.
If you try.
Yeah, like slightly above an average human.
I don't think it needs a check. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like she's trying to like hide it. I guess I don't know. Like,
I don't think it needs a check. I think that if you as a player in this situation think Mouse is acting weird, then Mouse is acting weird. Like, that's just kind of how
I'm
it
trying
works.
to discern why she's acting weird. Like, what's on her mind? That's what I'm trying to perceive.
I guess I don't know. It's hard to read people's minds.
Yeah, no, she just seems.
Not minds, but faces, or
if everything that she said, right? Like, so she's worried about the people on board that might kill her. She's worried about people stabbing her in the back. Like, those are the reasons I think that you get, unless you pursue it further. And I think those are mostly true, to be fair. Like, that probably is what Mouse is worried about.
This is a common worry with Mouse, because her background fits into that sort of fear as well.
Yeah. So whatever she just told you, I don't think there's a roll that needs to be made. I think that whatever the RP says.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, cool. But as he says that, he says, "Don't worry, it's not like someone's gonna show up, and if they do, I think we'll manage. I mean, it's not like we're some defenseless sheep in a pen waiting for wolves to attack us.
We're two nearly weaponless people with inside of a tin can. It's not like they could like shoot us out of the sky or anything."
Not when you got me behind the controls. He says reassuringly to try and calm her down.
Anyway, where are the other two on the ship?
RK is in the cockpit, and Romano is in one of our rooms. I told him to stay there while the others are gone for the meeting.
Okay. I mean, just make sure they don't come down here, because I don't want them down here.
Yeah, Romano, you kind of made like a makeshift cell, right? Where like it's like, hey, here's this, and then you've like locked the door from the panel on the outside with like a code or something. That's basically like your equivalent of a cell at this point.
You know, you have your own room topside. He says as he points a thumb to the ceiling, which you might realize that indicates your actual room that's on the top floor.
Nope, that's not my room. That's Ken's room. I've been sleeping
No,
here.
that's your. He kind of like looks to the side to see if he actually has like maybe at least sheets or a pillow or two.
Yeah,
No.
do you have like a blanket nest somewhere?
No, it's like a nest of wires.
Perfect.
Mouse
You
nest.
want a pillow by chance?
No. I don't need those. Those are, ugh. Those are dirty.
Okay, so as he was basically trying to talk with her, of course, he knows that he can't really force her to try to open him, herself up to him because they've only known each other for a week. And while they're still allies, he guessed he could realize that you can't really tell someone to just tell what's wrong in one day, but he at least wants to try and maybe make a more closer connection with someone because he feels like I'm probably gonna die with these people. Might as well at least try and get to know them.
Yeah, I mean, ask away.
So I know I shouldn't really be asking you this because you're not really the type to let's say confront most things. He tries to say is lightly, basically saying just being kind of like fearful of everything.